Hey guys, here's here, and the Galaxy S7 and the iPhone 6s are undoubtedly some of the fastest phones of the year, and they'll be some of the fastest phones of the whole year. But which phone is faster? In this video, we'll be testing out loading speeds, multitasking speeds, as well as fingerprint scanner speeds between the Samsung Galaxy S7 and the iPhone 6s. So getting specs out of the way quickly, we have the iPhone 6s with the dual-core 1.84 GHz CPU, 6-core GPU, the Apple A9 chip, and 2 gigs of RAM, whereas the S7 and S7 Edge have 2 dual-core processors, effectively making it quad-core, Snapdragon 820, and 4 gigs of RAM. We also have to factor in the screens, the iPhone 6s with a 4.7-inch screen at 326 pixels per inch, and the S7 S7 Edge coming in at 5.1 and 5.5 inches, respectively, with over 500 pixels per inch. So the first thing we're going to do is the fingerprint scanner test because it's the quickest. So the first thing to point out is that the iPhone 6s allows for 5 fingerprints, whereas the Galaxy S7 only allows for 4. So now when we're actually testing this out, you can see that they're extremely similar. The iPhone 6s screen actually turns on first when you press the home button, but the Galaxy S7 gets to the home screen first due to the animations. You can see a few different tests and it'll have the same results. But if we go ahead and change the animations on the iPhone, you can see that is about dead even, maybe even the iPhone being faster with the reduced motion turned on. But either way, Touch ID and the fingerprint scanner on the S7 are extremely fast, extremely accurate, and very similar to each other. Now when we test out different angles and different positions, it works just as well. There's one point where the Galaxy S7 didn't read it. Everything besides that, it worked fine. So these are both very impressive fingerprint scanners, and you really shouldn't have any issues with them. Now we're going to go ahead and do the speed test. So all the apps are closed on both devices, they're connected to the same Wi-Fi, and all the other variables are the same. So we're going to go ahead and go through the same amount of apps, and we're going to go through the same cycle on both of these, and this is playing at 250% speed for time's sake, because we're going to run this test over again to get more valid results, and we'll see which one comes out on top. So the first thing to notice is that the Galaxy S7 struggles a bit in Chrome, especially with the ads. That's what slows it down the most. YouTube is also a little bit faster on the iPhone than on the Galaxy, which is a little bit weird because it's a Google service, but a lot of Google apps work better on iPhones for whatever reason. You can see that the iPhone is cruising along already on Instagram, while the Galaxy S7 is on Riptide GP2. You can see that the iPhone is on its second test already, loading up The Verge, Amazon, as well as CNET. And then you can see again the Galaxy S7 is suffering with loading the ad. YouTube opens up very quickly for the Galaxy S7 with the 4 gigs of RAM. Music is very quick, the camera is very quick, faster than the iPhone's was. Flappy Bird is even faster on the S7 than it was on the iPhone, but we can see that the iPhone is done now at 2 minutes and 36 seconds, whereas the Galaxy has a little bit more time to go and finishes at 2 minutes and 50 seconds, but very similar. Now we're going to go ahead and do this exact same test again, just to see if the results change and to get a little bit more valid results, as I said before. So this time I'll play it even faster so you don't have to wait through this, and I'll see you at the end. So after the second test, you can see that the iPhone only differed by 17 milliseconds, so very consistent performance there, and the Galaxy was a little bit faster the second time, about 4 seconds faster. So these phones are very similar, and a lot of this had to do with the graphics. The screen is a lot bigger, a lot higher resolution on the Galaxy, so that has a lot to do with it, and that's one advantage iPhones have, is that it's very smooth because the resolutions aren't super high, so it's not as demanding and taxing on the processor. And even with 2 gigs of RAM and only a dual-core processor, iPhones always are very smooth and very consistent. But at the end of the day, there was only a 7% difference between the 6s and the S7 in my testing, and in day-to-day usage, you won't notice that. They're both very fast phones, they're both really excellent, and you can see by the fingerprint scanner results and the speed test, both phones are very fast and very similar in speed. If you guys liked this video, make sure to give it a like. This one took a lot of time to do, and I hope you did enjoy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.